bunch of 8s in the chat. Put a whole bunch of 8s in the chat if you want to make a start. Put a whole bunch of 8s in the chat. Put a whole bunch of 8s in the chat. Lots and lots of 8s. I want to see lots of 8s. And we're live. We're live on Facebook as well. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Great energy, guys. Great energy, guys. Okay, so welcome to the Academy of the Private Investor. And we have an amazing presentation here for you tonight. For those of you that are already in our company, you know how amazing this is. For those of you that are new and learning about the company tonight, well, you're going to learn about just like this amazing, fabulous future that we're creating for ourselves. I mean, we had a meeting on Saturday with our CEO. It was long, but where we're going with this company is just so exciting. Anyway, a little bit about myself. My name is Mo Rahman, okay? And, oh, by the way, actually, do you know what? Before I go into that, put in the chat from a rating from 1 to 10, how excited are you, people that are in this company, how excited are you about where we're going in the future? Like, oh, rate that 1 to 10, please. Rate that 1 to 10, please, in the chat, okay? 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, loads, lots of 10s. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. There are so many other companies out there, and we all know of them, I'm sure. But just there's something about our company that is just a bit different, really. And Gail's going to show you a little bit about how we are legitimate in a way that a lot of the other companies in this space are not. Anyway, that's coming up, so please stick around. Right, so me, I am Mo Rahman. Thank you for your energy, guys. Everyone's a 10. This is amazing. So my name is Mo Rahman. I'm a representative of the UK Local Leadership Council, along with Gail. And within this company, I'm a consultant. And I've done one of the courses called the Master Profi course, which is one of the flagship courses. I've also attended the Marathon 260, which is another one. And I recommend both of them if you're interested in learning more about the company and taking it seriously. I am now an international speaker, private investor, and an entrepreneur. But it wasn't always this way. I actually graduated in astrophysics. It never really, never really wanted to do academia for a living. So I then wound up, because I was numerate, going into becoming a data analyst. And I always worked in the public sector in the UK. Now, the thing is, it never made me rich. And it led me into quite massive depression, to be honest. And by the way, type in the chat if this is sounding a little bit like you. If you got to middle age, life kind of didn't turn out the way you kind of expected it to when you were a kid. And you just got really depressed with it. And all you really wanted was money, right? So anyway, I wound up in therapy. Thank you, Jimmy. I wound up in therapy, and then I decided, okay, I quite like this changing my mind stuff, but therapy is not enough. So that's when I started learning NLP, and I also did a coaching qualification, and I did NLP to mastery. So I'm a master hypnotist as well. And yeah, and then after that, I was like, great, this is great, except I still don't have any money. So that's when I started really focusing on my wealth training. And that's actually when I discovered our company, the Academy of the Private Investor. And so now I'm, an international speaker, coach, private investor, and also I've written my own book called Powered by the Universe. Next slide, please, Gail. So first of all, I'm going to take you through the compliance form, okay? So at the Academy of the Private Investor, we don't sell, nor do we have a license to sell shares or tokens. All countries have their own rules for the sale of financial products, and we must comply with the laws of every country. Most countries do allow for the sale of information products without special license. We offer the opportunity to participate in wealth building training, which provides the fundamental principles upon which all wealth is created and maintained, stuff you never learned at school. We do not provide financial or investment consultations. Please do your own due diligence or request confirmation from a licensed accountant or financial advisor in your area for compliance with the requirements in your own state or country. Thank you. Cheers, Gail. Thank you. So at this meeting tonight, we will cover 4 main parts. So the first part is going to be investment thinking, and then the second part, the VIP club of the private investor. The third part will be multi-level crowd investing, and the fourth part, the new economic evolution of the world. And at the end of this section, we're also going to do a Q&A. So that will also come up. So without further ado, right, so everyone, if you're excited, type a whole bunch of 8s in the chat, please. Type a whole bunch of 8s in the chat. You're about to learn about the greatest company. Well, yeah, we're about to become the greatest company in the world, actually, of this century. I'm pretty certain. That's how I feel about our company. So yeah, loads of 8s. Thank you, guys. Really great energy. Well done. Thank you. So there are 3 pillars to our new economic evolution of the world. Gail will expand more on what that actually is, but it's basically the philosophy that underpins our company. And the pillars are education, and prosperity. So the Academy of the Private Investor, we are a global online portal with 9 years of experience and more than 1.4 million users from over 175 countries. We have people who have up to 23 years experience in the investment and finance fields, and we offer practical studies in the areas of finance, investment, and personal growth. Guys, put in the chat, did you ever learn about how to grow wealth and how to invest at school? Put in the chat, yes or no, okay? And would you like to learn about that? So we also offer real case studies. So now we're going to move on to the first section, which is going to be investment thinking. Thank you. Yes, so, okay, Andrea says, yes, she would like to learn, and Hans and Chris say, no, they never did learn about wealth and how to build wealth at school. And to be honest, neither did I, neither did Gail, neither did anyone else. You don't learn about this stuff at school, okay? So, meet Robert Kiyosaki. Now, I've actually met him in real life, which is really cool, but that's a different story. One of the things that he is famous for is a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he's actually quite a prolific writer. Now, just to qualify him, this guy is friends, really good friends, with the Trump family. And regardless of what you think about Donald Trump, because I know that he's a very divisive figure, you can't deny that he does know how to create $1 billion, okay? So you want to learn from people that hang out with those people, right? Am I right or am I right? Type R to say that I'm right, okay? Yes, Chris, I'm excited that you're here too. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Shane. So guys, great energy. Thank you. So Robert Kiyosaki, he's very, very prolific in this space, and you should totally watch his cash flow, his Rich Dad channel. But one of the things that he teaches is this cash flow quadrant, okay? Basically, you've got the left side, which is the loser side, and you've got the right side, which is the rich side, okay? Now, on the left side, this is where we are educated by school to be, okay? So on the left side, hello, Richard, nice to see you. On the left side, you've got, in the top left, you've got employee, okay, working, you have a job. Now, when you have a job, basically, you pay a lot of tax. And the higher up you get in your job, then the more tax you pay. Isn't that awesome, right? So you can be earning 100K, over 100K, I believe, and then it's 50% is your tax on top of what you earn on top of 100K. So basically, you don't ever really do that well. And if you get really, really annoyed with all of this, then actually you might decide, well, actually, I'm going to go it alone and I'm going to become self-employed instead. I'll do it myself. And this is when you go into the bottom left-hand side, which is, it's actually self-employed. On this slide, it says entrepreneur. But the point being that you work for yourself, okay? Now, you think you work for yourself, but the truth is, what's happened is you don't have a HR, you don't have a payroll, you don't have people doing your advertising for you. You've got to do all of that stuff yourself. You're working even harder. And also, you've got a business that doesn't pay you if you don't work, okay? So if you can't actually take a holiday when you're in that bottom left quadrant, self-employed, and not only that, you're now paying business taxes as well as the taxes on your what you take out of the business as a salary. So type in the chat if you recognize that. On the top right hand side, sorry, the reason I'm looking down, I'm actually keeping track of the time. So on the top right hand side, this is how the billionaires do it. Okay, so do you want to know how the billionaires do it? Type a Y in the chat if you want to know how the billionaires do it. Type a Y in the chat. Okay, so we want to know how the billionaires do it. Awesome, good choice. So in the top right, you've got the businessman, okay? If you think of people like Richard Branson, for example, he has about 300 businesses that bear his name, okay? How many days a week do you think that he can spend on each of those businesses, right? Sorry, days in the year, right? It's basically, he's only got 1 day a year on each business. And that's because he owns a system, okay? He owns a CEO and a whole bunch of directors and whatever that basically operate the business for him. So rather than being self-employed, which is the bottom left, he actually owns a system that works for him and generates money for him using his brand, okay? But then, here's the thing. Because he's creating so many jobs, okay, you might realize, you might know that Facebook, Google, Starbucks, whatever, they don't pay taxes, right? And if you've ever wondered why they don't pay tax, it's because they create so much tax revenue that wouldn't exist, because they hire so many people who are from the left side, right? They've got so many employees or self-employed people who work for them, people who are the entrepreneurs, you know, the self-employed consultants, okay? So that's why the big businesses are incentivized by not having to pay tax, okay? Now, here's the other thing. You know that when you take money out of the business, I'm getting to the meat and bones, right, so the meat and potatoes, I mean, but when you take money out of the business, you have to pay tax on that. So this is what big business does. They then invest, okay? Who knows what the real business is of McDonald's? Someone type in the chat what the real business behind McDonald's is, okay? And let's see if you get it right. Let's see if you get it right before I tell you. So yes, exactly. Well, Stephen's got it. It's actually fairly well known by now. But basically, real estate is the real business of McDonald's. Okay, they invest in real estate, so it's not necessarily about fast food. Okay, and here's the thing: it's investing in things that are going to create money for you and passive income for you that is actually going to change your life. Have you learned something? Put a Y in the chat if you have learned something, okay? Put a Y in the chat if you've just learned that actually what you want is passive income from investments for the rest of your life, okay? Actually what you want is to have your financial freedom, to have your outgoings covered, your rent, your food, your mortgage, your kids' payments, whatever, okay? You want that covered by passive income such that you never have to think about money, okay? Next slide, please, Gail. Thank you. So thank you for your feedback, guys. Thank you for your feedback. So this slide shows you a survey, the results of a survey that was conducted by the Standard & Poor's ratings agency. And they did a global financial literacy survey, okay? Now, as you know, as I've already shown you, they don't teach you the stuff that I've just taught you and that Robert Kiyosaki's been teaching for a long time and that we teach you at the Academy of the Private Investor. They don't teach you this stuff at school, okay? They will never teach you this stuff at school. This is financial literacy. So what this slide shows is that the bluer the color, the higher the proportion of adults who actually have some financial literacy. And you can see it's kind of pale blue in America and France and kind of, I don't know, like Malaysia, I think that is. But it's orange everywhere else. Now, places like China or India or, you know, there are probably places in Africa as well, but China, Russia, right, and India, there's a middle class that is, they're becoming quite affluent, okay? And yes, exactly, Simon's got it, Stephen's got it, right? They've been taught how to be good little slaves, right? All they're doing is they're just grateful that they've got jobs now and they don't have to do the hard farming work or whatever it is that they've been doing, and they feel affluent because they've got jobs, but they're not financially literate. That's why the things are orange. So the world has a problem, okay? The world has a problem, and guess what? We have the solution, and it is our education programs, okay? Thank you, Gail. So let me tell you about our education programs. And while we're doing this, can you please type in the chat, how much do you think you would spend on your higher education, your university education? If you went to become a doctor or a lawyer or an architect or something, how much would you spend now in order to get that degree? Okay, see if you can come up with a figure. So Gail said 30K. I actually put a number in there. It'd be really interesting to see what you think, how much you think it costs to get a degree these days. 100K. Yeah, you know what? Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so here's the thing. I've got a Master of Physics degree. I went to University College London. I've got a decent degree from a decent university. I never really did anything with it. Okay. And also, it never made me rich. It never led me to like understanding how to make money, right? So how much is this education worth? As you can see, we have 5 levels of courses, and the best bit about our courses, the first best bit is the fact that we're teaching you how to actually invest for your passive income for the rest of your life. Okay, that's the first best bit. But the second best bit is we don't just educate you, we also, as a bonus, right, so we have a project. We've got a project of our own investments, and Gail's going to tell you a bit more about that. But basically, we have our own investments, and not only that, but when you purchase a package, an education package with us, you actually get shares in the things that we invest in. So is that good or is that good? Type a G in the chat if that's good, okay? So not only do you buy courses, you get something that is freaking amazing in return, okay? That can actually lead you to your financial freedom. Guys, come on, you've got to put a whole bunch of G's in the chat right now, right? That is amazing, right? G's, lots of G's, lots of G's. Okay, thank you. So now I'm going to, oh, no, you got to go back to your slide, Gail. You got to go back to your slide. Okay, right. So now I have to introduce to you the incredible, like this lady, I've known her for about a year now. I've had the pleasure of basically being in this position as a UK local leader with Gail for the past year, and it's really cool because like we have disagreements. We're both Northerners, so we can like, you know, actually get quite angry at each other, but we also have a lot of respect for each other, and so it's all actually really good. So I'm really, really happy to welcome and to be working with Gail Potkin, who is like, well, she's going to tell you more about herself, but she's got so much experience. Guys, that's me. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the questions and answers at the next one. Gail, Floor's all yours. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much, Mo. I'm not going to keep you too long, because what Mo was explaining to you there is really, really important. It's a lot of people miss the fact that we are primarily an education company, and this is where everything's grown from. And this is where, when people have education, they have power. Okay, and knowledge is wealth. There's a saying, knowledge is wealth, and knowledge definitely is wealth. So I'm not going to give you too much. Some of you may have seen me, some of you may not, but I am a like Mo, representative of the UK Local Leadership Council. I'm a partner and vice president within the company. I love my crypto. I'm a speaker, private investor and entrepreneur, and I have got 40 years of financial services background. Now, I am an ex-financial advisor. Please note the ex, okay? Now, when I first saw this education, okay, I thought nobody was going to teach me anything. I knew everything there was going to know about financial education. Believe me, that education is top class. I learned things that they don't teach you in the mainstream. Okay, they don't teach you how to become a private investor. I could go and speak to people and advise them where was the best place to put their money, but it wasn't teaching them how they could take real control over their finances and to choose the investments that really suited them. Okay, and that was something I didn't have in my 40 years of my financial services background. Like Mo, I'm also a qualified clinical hypnotherapist, and I like to think I'm an educator as well. And Mo spoke quite a bit about the education, and like I said, our foundations are the education. But on top of that, because with the company, they want to help us on our way to becoming a private investor, they also show us how we can be co-owners in this business. Now I'm going to go through how we do that. Okay, so what are we co-owners in? Okay, so the education is really, really important. And going back to 2011, when the Academy of Private Investors started, one of our CEO, Andre's investors, actually said to him, look, I've got something here. It's innovative transport technology. Have a look at it. It may be suitable for the students. It may be suitable for them to start looking at. To cut a long story short, it ended up he got together with the developer, the brainchild of the innovative transport technology, and decided that he would crowdfund to allow the development of that technology. And in return, he was given shares in that company. Okay, and he passed that on to his students, and it all developed from there. Now, in 2014, he'd also started to create a small portfolio, and that portfolio started off with, I think it was about $27,000. Okay, and I'm going to show you in a bit how that developed. So to grow that portfolio, one of the things that he taught in his education was to look at different different sectors in the investment market. So he started to build a portfolio which encompassed the education, something which I'm going to speak to you about called multi-level crowd investing, health, innovative transport, the banking sector, stock markets, forex, cryptocurrency, real estate, agriculture and farming, food. We've got the precious and semi-precious metal sector. In gold, we've got the diamonds with the precious stones. There's lots of different sectors that the portfolio covers. Okay, so some of the things that we've also got in there, like I said, are the gold mining, but we've also got things like restaurants. And one of them, which is one of our newest projects, is something called EduCap, where people can go and have meetings and eat. But at the same time, it's going to be a bit like on the McDonald's type, fast food type restaurants, but will include sushi, include pizza, burgers, and traditional dishes of that country. Okay, so that is going to be rolled out, and as we progress, it will be rolled out into many places in the world. And with that comes the profit that makes, and the profit that makes then is part of our global crypto unit program, our global portfolio. We've got the film industry. Okay, a film that's coming out the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year, with the things that are happening in the world, you know, which again are the profit to that. And you know how much money the film industry is worth. The first film will be in Asia and I think India, so it's going to be that side of the world, and there'll be more to come, you know. But the money that can be made from the film industry is multi-million billion-dollar industry. So again, all that money that's made with the co-ownership can go into our portfolio. So most of the things that we're involved with, we own. Either we own it fully, or we own it between 50, 51%, 65%, something like that. So there's a spread of how much of a company that we actually own. Innovative Basalt Technology, set to be $1 trillion company in the future. Okay. Gold mining, and we all know, and especially in the financial world, that gold is always the security of any portfolio. So it's a real balanced portfolio that we get the co-ownership in. Okay, and how do we get the co-ownership? Just to remind everybody, is when we purchase one of the education packages, we're gifted shares into this global portfolio, and I call them our digitalized shares. Okay, and they're done in the form of CREW, which are our like a point system. Okay, so again, showing we invest in different things in the stock market. We've got some amazing new projects that are now up and running, which are going to bring not only going to bring the wealth to the portfolio, but also going to increase our members as well. And you'll learn more about that as you progress and learn more about the company. One of them is called Digital Doubles. We've got UGain. We've got, of course, our education, the Academy of a Private Investor, and just showing you the gold again there. So we've lots and lots of different things that you will learn about as time goes on. And how do we get that to you and to the marketplace and to the world? Okay, because this is a global company, which is going to you're going to see an awful lot of in the future. And when I say the future, I don't mean, you know, months, years. I'm talking probably weeks. Okay, so one of the ways that we do that is through our crypto unit program, and this was launched, like I said, in March 2019, and this was the thing that actually piqued my interest in this company. I joined previous to that. Okay, and I didn't get the technology. I just bought a package. I didn't even look at the education. I was too busy off doing something else, you know, somewhere else. And then I suddenly saw the portfolio, and whether it was because of my financial background, I don't know. But when I saw it, I was wowed, because I know there's nothing like that out there. There is nothing, you know, and I ask people to keep an open mind, because what you're seeing now, there is nothing like this out there in the online world. Okay, there's nothing like this out there in the traditional financial world either. Okay, so this is we are history making in what we're doing. Okay, and the great thing is that the company that we use to launch our securitized token, okay, and I'll explain to you what that is in a second, is a company called UGPay. So that is our company that we use, and it is fully regulated by the SEC. And on the website, when you go in, you can actually see the registration and see the white paper as well. Okay, so this portfolio, we need to get it to market, and we need people to actually start looking at this portfolio. And one of the ways that we're doing it is through this securitized token. So a coin is a coin, securitized token has security, it's got assets holding it up. Bitcoin, fantastic, we all know it can go to the moon and back, but we also know it can drop quite dramatically because it's got nothing really holding it up like the like an STO has. So an STO is more linking us to the real financial world, but digitalized, and it'll become more and more common as the years go on, and companies will securitize their they'll be selling more of these tokens, and they'll securitize to increase their companies. And, you know, like I said, March 2019, we'd grown from 26k in 2014 to 62.4 million in 2019. But the biggest growth that we've had has been in the last 16, 18 months. Okay. And as we've built the portfolio, it's now valued currently at $477 million. We're currently having it revalued, and we know that some of the projects that we've got, which are starting now, that in the next few years, they're going to be billion-dollar companies. So this portfolio is going to be billions. In the next 10, 15, 20 years, it'll be trillions. Okay, so this isn't a short-term project. This is a long-term serious project. And you can see the growth rate here, you know, from March 2019, 765%. Nowhere in the world at the moment is anyone getting anywhere near the growth rate that we're getting. Okay, and because of the diversity, that's what's so exciting. Now, what's even more exciting is the way that we're doing this and what we're trying to achieve. Because as a financial advisor, you know, the normal everyday person like you and me would not get the opportunity to be part of something as big as this in this type of portfolio. Because normally, if you went to a broker and said, look, I want to be involved with this particular investment, you've probably got to prove that you've got quite a lot of assets behind you. You're going to have to prove that you've got an income coming in. You're going to have to prove that you know what you're doing, you can afford to do it. And, you know, most people, you're looking at 100k to get involved in anything. Okay, now we're bringing something to the people. We're bringing something that's going to help people like yourself and myself, you know, who might not want to come in and might not have hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that. Okay, so not only going to help people like ourselves, we're also going to now allow institutional investors and companies to also get involved in this portfolio. And why would they want to get involved with it? It's because of what I've just explained to you there about the actual portfolio and what it's got in it, because it's so diverse. Okay. And, you know, it's got securities, we've got real estate, we've got precious metal, we've got company shares, we've got all sorts in there. And what it brings out at the other side is the money for everyone. So it's virtually turned things on its head, because if you think about it, when you're a co-owner in this and you hold those shares in this global portfolio, and when it goes to market in a few weeks and in the coming years, and it grows and grows, you hold those shares. So though the people have got to buy them from somewhere, they've got to get them from somewhere. Okay. Now, normally it would be the institutions who would issue the shares, and then we'd all go in and buy some shares and they profit. In this instance, it's the other way around. So what it's doing, it's giving it back to the people, so that everybody globally, doesn't matter whether you've got a very, very low income, a limited resources, or you've got a higher income, it doesn't matter. We're putting it out there to everybody. Okay, so the crypto unit program, like I said, gives you the co-ownership of what we call the world crew. The crew are our crypto unit. Those are the units that you receive when you purchase the education. We're in a bit of a transition stage at the moment, because in the next few weeks things will look slightly different. But the reality is that anybody who holds these crypto units now or purchases the packages and is gifted the crypto units, they will be able to, they will be part of the global portfolio via the World Crew. Okay, so you'll receive the monthly loyalty program bonus, and you're going to have an opportunity to receive profit bonus via the World Crew as well. And it's regulated and it's transparent financing. Okay, and the World Crew value, the growth is going to grow, and as the assets grow, the value of that will grow as well. And the circulation we've got at the moment of our crew unit, which is what you're gifted, you'll be able to exchange in a couple of weeks for the STO, the World Crew, and it'll be 1 for 1. So 1 crew equals 1 World Crew, which is the STO. So we're transitioning from a unit, a coin, into or a utility token, should I say, into something that is a regulated, securitized token, which will go up in value as time goes on. So everything we've spoke about, the education and how we learn to become and think like a private investor, and encouraged to look at other areas of finance as well, not just the global portfolio. You know, that is just one small area. Okay, but what we're also they also give us, which ties everything together, is we can actually run this as a business. You can choose to run it as a business if you want to. And we say, do you want to earn by learning? So you can learn and you can earn at the same time. Okay, because the co-ownership, you know, maybe that's, although it's going to generate some passive sources of income, okay, it will also and other sources of income as well, but primarily, you know, this is a longer term thing. This is for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20, 30, 40 years. You know what I mean? It's not here today, gone tomorrow, like we've been used to online. This is why this is so different. So multi-level crowd investing, that is something that's quite unique. And we've taken the multi-level business world, so the MLM marketing world, which is absolutely amazing in itself. But one thing you'll never do with a multi-level, if you're part of a multi-level business currently, you'll never own it. You'll never be a co-owner in it. Okay. With this business, we've put the two together. We've put the multi-level marketing world together to get the best of that. And we've also give people the opportunity to become co-owners by this global portfolio. Okay, and it allows you to, you know, have a better lifestyle as well. It allows you to run a business from home and be your own boss. You can start an international business from scratch. You've got unlimited earning potential. So do you remember when Mo was talking about Robert Kiyosaki and the cash flow quadrant? Okay, as an employed person, you don't get the opportunity to have unlimited earnings potential, because you either go to work, you get paid a salary, and if you're lucky, you might do some overtime and get a bit extra, and you might be even luckier and get 3 or 4 or 5 weeks of holiday a year. Okay, but this is different. This is where you've got unlimited earning potential. There's no cap on it. And we give you the opportunity to be involved in multiple income streams. You know, lots of different ways that you can, we can show you how you can earn extra income and provide that for you as well. And it's a very, very unique business model. Okay, so it's something entirely different, something that you won't probably have been used to. And before I was talking about how normally things like this are not for the normal everyday people like us, but we can start off in our education packages at 50 units, and for the 50 units you get given or gifted so many of the crew, okay, our units. And you can start from $50. You can see there $250, 1,000, 4 or 10, or a combination of whatever you want. So depending on how much education you want and how many shares you want will depend on that. currently. Like I said, we're in a bit of a transitional period that will still apply for now, and obviously as in the next couple of weeks you'll start to see things slightly changing a little bit. Okay, so we've got that solution for everyone. We're offering personal growth, we're offering courses where people can, you know, learn. They can learn self-development, goal setting, planning, you know, improve the financial literacy, because that is so important this day and age, you know, and it's never been a better time for people to start taking control of their own finances. And this is what we're giving people. We're giving people the opportunity to once and for all take control of their finances. And we can do that. And we do it in a quite an exclusive way, because people can come into this business as a VIP member. Okay, and there's lots of benefits for being a VIP member. You know, you're going to be in an elite club. There's going to be discounts on all the products. You get the opportunity to participate in all the different additional income streams that we do. And that is $10 to start off with. $10. If you're in the UK, about £8 a month, you know, and the benefits that you're going to receive will far outweigh that membership. And most, you know, things these days you have a membership for. Okay, and not only that, you're going to be able to participate in the closed monthly meetings. That we're so transparent in this company. You will see exactly what that portfolio is worth. You'll see, you know, 1 month we might have not done so well in the traditional financial markets. You know, another month we may have done fantastic. The crypto may go up, we may go down. You know, property, land usually stays around about the same, but will increase over time as we go along. You know, we've got plans for hotels, you know, we've got the land for it already. There's so much more for you to learn about this company, you know, and it's easy to get started, because all you need to do is anybody can come in, they can make a free registration. It doesn't even cost anything to register. But then you make that decision and you can become a member of the VIP club, and you can receive your bonuses. You can choose the right education package and you just go for it. Okay. And you can then choose what you want to do with this business. And, you know, we're led by a real, what's the word? A real knowledgeable, okay, council. We call it our presidential council. You know, our CEO, Andrei Haratov, he's the leader, he's the brainchild of this project, this business. Mila, you know, she the knowledge that lady's got, you know, Petru, Dragas, Andrew Hawks, you know, that the information that you received, the support, and every single one of these people here was just like you were. They sat on a presentation and they were just like you. Everybody starts at the same level here. You know, nobody, you know, even Andre, you know, he's had to work for what he's got, and he's so knowledgeable that he wanted to pass on this knowledge to enable everybody this freedom that, you know, everybody so desires. Okay, and those achievements, we've got over 1.4 million members worldwide. We've probably got active about 800,000 members and growing all the time. We're worldwide in 175 countries. We've got more presidents than probably a lot of other companies out there. That's our highest level. Okay, we speak 11 languages. Not me personally, by the way, very lazy, but you know, we do have a lot of translations. We've paid out, okay, 98 million. In fact, it's more, it's nearly to 99 million, probably more as we speak, because these are a little bit outdated, these slides, you know, as bonuses to the network. So there's money to be made, you know, in this company. Okay. And, you know, like I said, we've achieved this over 5 years. So this, in the last 12 months, this company has really started to expand. And, you know, you'll hear us talking about NEW. What is NEW? So NEW is our ideology. NEW is the new economic evolution of the world. And we've spoke about how we're trying to get the wealth distributed globally, not just for a few people. you know, so everybody can share in this through this education and through the co-ownership. And also we're giving security and protection, and not only for yourself, but you know, you're helping others as well. So you know, if you're financially stable, you can help your family, you can help your friends, you can help your family by sharing it with them and saying, look, you need to have a look at this, because this is not just for you, this is for your children and your children's children. Okay, so what we've shown you today is just, it's not just one little thing. And to learn more about it, you probably do need to come and have a look and have another look at the presentation if it's your first time. If it's not your first time, it's still great to realize what we've actually got our hands on, because I don't think we actually realize exactly what we've got our hands on here, which is fantastic. So you've got a choice to make. You know, and we say to people, if you're new, get back to the person who brought you on at this meeting, speak to them, and what are you going to do? You know, what is your decision going to be? If you want to leave everything as it is, that's fine. We wish everybody well, you know, and we hope that people are successful in whatever they do, you know, but we can provide, you can make that decision and say, no, I want to be financially educated. You know, I want to be able to make my own decisions and make the right decisions. I want to have that multiple sources of passive income, because that is what Mo showed you, you know, in the bottom right hand quadrant, where money works for you. Money makes money. Okay. And you're going to be part of a like-minded community. There's a lot of help and support for everyone, you know, and you're going to create assets. That'll be one. It's like a bit like the telly, that one. You create assets, which will leave a legacy, not only for you, but for your children and your children's children. And on that note, I hope I haven't bored everybody to death. Mo is so good at getting people interacted. Unfortunately, I'm just so passionate about it that I forget to even talk to people. I'm just, that's why we work well. So thanks very much. What we're actually going to do now is we are going to give people the opportunity, if you're new and you may not want to stay on the call now, but we are going to open it up for questions and answers. So a lot of the people who'll be asking questions will be existing members. So I'm going to hand over to Mo, and let's see if we get any questions. Pop them in the chat.
Okay, guys, please put a whole bunch of 8s in the chat for Gail, because that was amazing. Gail, thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you. So yeah, loads of 8s in the chat to say thank you, Gail. Thank you. Do you know why we use 8? Do you know why we like the number 8? Do you guys know? Basically, it's the number of well, I think it's the number of wealth or something, and prosperity. It's a magic number, and so, you know, we're wishing ourselves, yeah, basically we're wishing ourselves prosperity and infinity. So look, guys, thank you for seeing through the presentation. If you think that there's something missing from it, or if you think there's something that should be, I don't know, cut from it, we'd love to hear your feedback, because we're running out of ideas. We're like, what we've got here is so big, and we've tried to do this as quickly, we tried to get it in as quickly as possible, but we might need your help, you know, to cut it down. And also, if you're from the UK, if you would like to apply to help us out and join our team, that you can do that as well. So if you're interested in doing that, then the person to contact is actually Marshall Neon Zima. There are certain requirements. For instance, you have to dedicate your energy to this company. You're not allowed to work on any other company while you are helping us to forward our company. And obviously you've got to pay attention to, you've got to show up, and you've got to be proactive and do stuff. But yeah, we're taking applications. So, you know, if you think you could do better than us, you know, or if you think you could complement us, I know that, for instance, one of the skills that we're probably missing is really being out there on the channels. I'm not so much out there. So, you know, if you think you've got something to add, or if you think you're better than us, you know, come on, let's have an application, and we'd love to welcome you onto the team. But it's by application only. You got to get to Marshall Neon's email. Okay. So everyone type in M in the chat if you know that you've got to contact Marshall if you want to do that. So type in M in the chat. And also, if you do have a question, please do ask a question. So probably best if you ask that in the Q&A box at the bottom. If you move your mouse around and click Q&A and write your question in there, and Gail and I will do our best to answer that.
Yeah, I think somebody's asked a question. Hanosh, he's asking about the whiteboard. I think perhaps he means the white paper. Hanosh, it is Mo did put a link. If you scroll up in the chat,
I'll put it in again.
He'll pop it in again, and you can read the white paper on there. It is on the UGPay website. Okay. Also, let's have a look. Yes, Chris, it will be available for, there's usually a recording, it is being recorded, so it will be on the NEWW official channel. It's usually there.
We're live on Facebook, so it's live somewhere on Facebook. Not that actually I can find it.
yeah, it's live on Facebook as well, so you can go back and have a look at that. Yeah, sorry, Hannah. I'm always doing that. I'm always typing things wrong so they don't make sense. So I'm with you there. Yeah. Anybody else got any questions that they want to ask us?
I think while Hanosh is asking about the white paper, maybe I can just share my screen and I can just show the white paper.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and do you want to expand that Q&A? Someone's asking the Q&A.
I'll look at the Q&A as well. How much of when company starts to provide dividends can you guess, please? Oof, Prem, we can't guess. We're not allowed to guess. Right. You know, this company has got a fantastic future. Everybody's looking for the dividends. Okay, well, the first thing that needs to happen is we need to get onto the exchange, and that should happen in the coming weeks. The exchange is currently being tested vigorously because it needs to be tested. Okay, so once we're on the exchange, once the the institutional investors and the business people come in and start looking at what we've got, you know, we'll start to see more money coming into the portfolio. Okay, so as that happens, so the dividends will grow because you have to hold the world crew. So you're going to have to exchange your or some or part of your crew to world crew to receive the dividends. Okay, and that's not us, that's not the company, that is the SEC. You know, everybody wanted the regulation. You know, it was needed to get the company to where we need it to go with the STO. And then it's the SEC that dictate how it has to go on the exchange and how we have to transition. Okay, so there'll be different rules for us as members transitioning and changing over to the world crew than those who come in and buy the world crew possibly on the exchange. Okay, so we're going to have a different set of rules, and you'll start to learn about that in the coming weeks. You know, so please tap into as much information as you can in the coming weeks, because, you know, at the moment there's a lot of information to take in. You know, but we can't guess, you know, unfortunately, Prem, we can't guess and you know, how much it's going to be. Okay, because once it goes onto the exchange, in a way, it's out of our hands, and the market will dictate what happens. However, we have got that global portfolio that's increasing all the time. You know, remember the profits from the co-ownership is going into the portfolio, and that's growing as well. So we've got two things that are going to happen to increase our dividends. And, you know, there is the opportunity to earn the passive income. We've got the data mining. You can earn a passive income from that. You know, we've got the UGAIN that's going to be in the top 10 countries as well, and we'll have other projects that start to roll out. So I hope that's answered, Prem.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the role of the SEC and about this Regulation D form that we have and what the implications are of that?
Yeah. In the regulated world, so in the financial world and wherever there's regulation, every time you want to add something to that financial company, you know, you have to put an application into them, and this application covers our stock and securities offering, so our STO. So our STO comes under this Form D. Okay, so it's then offered in the form of World Crew. Okay, now we changed it from just pure crew into World Crew because it needed to be sort of separated from the crew. Plus, you know, in going back quite a few months ago, there was another company out there doing suddenly sort of copied our crew, you know what I mean? So we hadn't gone on the exchange or anything like that at that time. You know, so we needed to differentiate, and obviously with it being the STO, it had to have something else there. So we're actually regulated for the World Crew. Okay.
Can I expand on that as well? Because
yeah.
I think, you know, guys, what we have here is so exciting because we're entering the crypto space. Okay. Now, if I go to Coin Market Cap, okay, for those of you, do you guys know this website? Do you know Coin Market Cap? Put a Y in the chat if yes, or an N in the chat if no. Okay. So basically, just to summarize, Coin Market Cap is where it's like a comparison site for all of the cryptocurrencies right now. So, you know, you've got comparethemarket.com, or you've got, you know, booking.com for hotels, or that sort of thing. Okay, so this is basically where you would find summary information about the top performing cryptos. Okay, now here's the thing, there's like 7,400 cryptos listed here. Now you have to be public, I believe, for at least 3 months before you can apply to be on this website. So we can't list on this website until we've launched on the public blockchain and 3 months later. Okay, but this is the really exciting thing about our crypto. Okay, our portfolio is worth, I think it's worth about $460 million at the moment, actually, I think is what they said. But the point is, it's been hovering at about $450 to $475 million since about March. Basically, when the coronavirus hit and the lockdown happened, gold shot up in value. That quadrupled the value of our portfolio, because at the beginning of the year, it was 100 million. And then it shot up to 400 million. It's been holding steady for the past, like, you know, 6 months, pretty much, which is really cool, right? And then also on top of that, by the time we go to the exchange, you can see in your back office that we have distributed about, say, 30 billion tokens. Okay, so 460 million tokens divided by that 30 billion, it gives you a genuine valuation for the token, which is what we're going to launch our crypto at. Okay, now here's the thing, if when we right, so our capitalization, how do you work out the capitalization again, Gail? Because our capitalization is like, oh yeah, that's it. Well, our capitalization is $460 million, basically. That's right, isn't it, Gail?
Yeah. In fact, they haven't included UGAIN or data mining. They haven't done that. The valuation for that has got to be done yet.
Yeah, so we haven't even got accurate values on some of the companies and the initiatives that we've got going.
It's
right?
currently being done, yeah.
Right. So here's the thing: when you compare the market caps of all of these other crypto coins, okay, and this is in order by market cap, we actually will come in something amazingly competitive, okay, and we'll appear on like quite high on this list by the time we get there, okay. And then when that happens, people are going to think, well, we must just be a pump and dump project like they do think with crypto. But when they actually look at what is behind this weird world crypto unit thing that suddenly appeared, right? When they compare it with what else they've got on here, they'll see, okay, there's Bitcoin, which is the daddy. There's Ethereum, which is, you know, smart contracts, maybe undervalued, and well, pretty, you know, it probably is undervalued, right? Tether, which is really dodgy because no one knows if there's $15 billion sitting in a bank somewhere, right? Ripple, which everyone in crypto knows is kind of tainted because it's basically related to the banks anyway, which is what we're trying to get away from, right? Bitcoin, you know, I mean, basically the point is there is nothing behind any of these cryptos but us. We've got a $460 million portfolio, right? Plus by then we will have had the valuation on those things that are missing. We've probably got like, you know, $1 billion, like, you know, $1 billion worth of assets, if not more. We've got actual substance. That's right, Stephen. Yes. Okay, guys, put a bunch of 8s in the chat if you're excited. This is crazy. We are actually I genuinely do think we're the hidden gem in the whole of this crypto space. Okay. You know, we will be the market leader. And if you know anything about our company, we don't do anything by halves. How much money is there in this in crypto at the moment? There's $1/3 of $1 trillion in the whole of crypto. Now, that might sound like a lot of money, but when you compare that with Apple, which is worth $1 trillion, 3 times as much as the entirety of crypto, there's still a huge amount to play for, okay? And we are taking the whole of crypto, okay? Are you excited, right? 8s in the chat if you're excited, because we actually have a freaking case. I'm excited, right? So yeah, and also, oh my god, I didn't even get to the point. The point is, nothing else in this space, as far as I know, actually has an SEC registration. They're not even actually pretty much licensed to actually raise funds. Okay, well, like, there's not that much, or rather, you know, I don't know of any other. I'm sure there are, you know, Yearn Finance. I don't really know anything about Yearn Finance. I believe that's all the rage right now. Everyone talking about that loads. But you know what? I don't need to know about anything else because I know about the World Crew and I know about our company. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't do other things as well, but I mean, you know, you've got to be diversified. But my point is that we do actually have something that is amazing, right? Jimmy, yeah, I don't really know anything about Yearn Finance. I can't really answer that, to be honest.
Well, let's have a look with Binance. How much where are we? Where's the question on Binance?
Oh no, Yearn Finance.
Oh, Yearn Finance. I don't know.
Yeah, lots of people talking about Yearn at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. You know, at the end of the day, you know, the SEC, which are the US regulators, are one of the, I mean, Andre does say in a number of his presentations, you know, people say, why on earth are you going to the US for? You know, and the reason we're going to the US is because their regulation is known worldwide. Okay. And it's known for a reason, because it's very strict, very, very strict to get through. Okay. So if you've got SEC regulation, you have been through the mill. So anybody who's doubting the validity of this company or has in the past, you know, go back to the people. If you're an existing member, go back to the people that you previously spoke to. They cannot deny the SEC regulation. They don't give it to people who are a scam. They don't give it to you if you're a Ponzi. They shut those companies down.
They don't give it to Facebook. They don't give it to Telegram.
No, and there was, there was a thing with Facebook, because Facebook were going for an STO. They were going out there to try and get out there, but they didn't do it correctly. Okay, they didn't do it correctly, and that's why it got knocked back. Okay, now we've done it correctly. We've adhered, and we would ask everybody to make sure you adhere. If you see something and we're saying, don't say this, don't do this, don't do the other, it's because we're now regulated. The regulator doesn't like it, when we're making claims that are perhaps not true. And that, people go rushing off. This is undeniable. You only have to give them now this website and let them go and look at it. Let them read the white paper. Let them understand what we're all about and how we plan to roll this out. We're not one of these companies. I mean, I've been involved in the past with lots of different coins, okay, out there, and you give them free ones or you bought them, and as soon as they go to market, everybody goes that, because they've got the whole lot, say you've got 10,000. And all you do is you go back onto the market, and everybody tries and sells them all at once, because we hadn't got the mindset then, and that included himself. We hadn't got the mindset that we need to hang on to them. We're giving, if you're thinking of rushing off and selling them dead quickly, I mean, people can do what they want with these coins. They can, any unlocked coins, they can sell them, they can go on the exchange, they can do what they want. But once they've gone, they've gone. The only other way that you're ever going to get involved again is by going and purchase them at probably, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 by the middle of next year, whatever it's going to be. I don't know. We don't know what it's going to be. We know it's going to go, and we just can't tell you the figure it's going to go at. So don't be too rushed. Take your time, learn about it, find as much information before you press any buttons, before you do anything, because once it goes onto the blockchain, you can't go back to the company and say, oh, actually, I didn't mean to press that one. I didn't want to do that, because the blockchain is gospel. It can't be changed. It's what we call a smart contract. So it's written, nothing can be changed. The company can't change it. We can't change it. So think seriously about what you've got your hands on here. Just learn. That's all I urge people to do. But we are making history. Somebody said, Jimmy, we're making history. We are history makers in this space at the moment. There is other STOs out there. Half of them haven't really got anything behind them. They might have a little bit, or they've got a bit, but they've not really got anything behind them. They've certainly not got a 477 million or whatever it is portfolio, at this moment in time. They haven't got that. They haven't got, we could wake up in the next few weeks to be told that it's actually been reevaluated and it's now worth a lot more than that. Whatever it's going to be, we don't know, but we do know what's going to happen. Okay, and we, like I said, we're in control of this. This is our company, this is our portfolio, and these are our shares. So just think about that. Would you want to give away your share in a company that, in the next 10, 15 years could be one in the top 100 companies in the world? And that's not unrealistic, because we are the first in the space. And I'm going to be quiet now because I can go on all night about it.
Me too. I mean, that's the, when you really understand this company. Thank you guys for your awesome comments. Thank you so much. When you really understand this company, and when you show up and you watch all the by those guys that have to go. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And please come again. Please bring other people to this meeting, because we want to grow the UK and we want to become #1. Okay. The next time we have a meeting, like the summary meeting, we want to be #1. Okay. So bring people to this. Let's inspire them. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. But I'm just going to keep talking for a bit longer because this like when you really understand what is happening with this company, like, and you also understand that the 1930s, there were, you know, when the tech revolution is when the last big kind of like companies, the last time big companies were born, like Amazon, Google, Apple as well. I mean, that was more in the 70s. But you know what? Big tech was a big round of like world leading companies. Okay. It's been a while. It's been a while since something new emerged. And it's about time that something new emerges, and something new is emerging in a really big way with this company. Okay. Guys, you are at the forefront of, do you know what? Can I share one of my more kind of showing off things? Is that all right, Gal? Right?
Yeah, of course, go for it.
Awesome. So, right, this is the dream. Okay. If we had $100 trillion valuation of our portfolio, which is our ultimate goal, okay, guys, thank you so much for your love. Everyone put a whole bunch of 8s in the chat, not just for us, but for yourselves for still being here, okay? Put a whole bunch of 8s in the chat. We are all gonna be so like prosperous in future, okay? You're all on the right frequency. And by the way, you know what? I'll tell you what, that was the thing I thought you were going to say about Andre and Mila and Armand and that whole team, is like the frequency of these guys. They're just such a really loving frequency. That's the thing. So yes, they're really knowledgeable, and they know that, you know, like the reason we're in this position is because of Andre, and he's got the expertise, right? And he knows how to navigate the thing. That's all well, but the point is, it's his soul that is just, you know, and what he teaches is just really, it's just, and what he stands for this. He stands for basically creating a lifestyle where he can just exist on passive income. Okay. Could you imagine that each of your crew will pay anywhere between $1 to $50 a year in passive income? Because that's the dream. Guys, these are not promises. Not, you know, Gail and I, we can't promise anything. I'm just communicating what the dream is. Okay. This is what we're aiming for. Okay. Type in the chat aim if you understand that this is what, or dream actually, if you understand that this is what we're dreaming for. Okay. We're dreaming for each of our crew to pay $1 to $50 a year in passive income. Think about how much crew you own, and what is that times, say, 10 or times 50, because that's what you might expect to make per annum. Okay. And yes, Jimmy, it could get bigger. I think that this, you know, when we get to $100 trillion, I don't think Andre is going to say, yeah, okay, that's fine, I'm going to hang up my hat. So yeah, absolutely, yeehaw. Right, exactly. I get you. I mean, you know, I spend my days just thinking, right, that's it, I'm a billionaire. You know, I'm done now, you know, and like, you know, I've just got to wait for it to happen. But I also want to bring it, right? I want to bring it into reality.
And I think that's important, because there'll be people on this call tonight, okay, that will be millionaires. When, or even billionaires, when, we don't know, but they will be. Okay, so there's no doubts about that. Right now, each and every one of us, we could all just sit back and be billionaires and millionaires. But what drives us with this business is the vision to help people, to really help people. You know, why do we talk to people about it? Why do we, you know, stay on our computers all day and in the evening 7 days a week? It's because we do genuinely want to help people. And if every single person gets that mindset, that the next time that you talk to somebody, you're not selling them anything. Please don't think you're selling them anything, because people don't like to be sold to. Okay, but what you're doing is you're sharing with them something that you know can change their lives. Whether they choose to take that or not, that's not up to you. But believe me, you know, if you go into this just sharing it with people and saying, look, you don't even have to do anything, you don't have to explain it. You know, just say to them, look, I'm going to give you a brief overview. I'm just going to say 3 things to you. I'm going to say, they'll say, what is it? Okay, it's showing you how you can be financially educated, because we don't get that in schools. It's showing you how you can be a co-owner in a big portfolio on different companies, because we don't normally get that as normal everyday people. And another thing, it's going to show you how you can run a business and have a business, because, you know, are there going to be companies and jobs out there by the end of the year, beginning of next year? Unfortunately, probably not. And that is so, so sad for an awful lot of people. So you can help people. And the more people you talk to, the more people you're going to help. You know, so none of us have to do this, who are probably sat on this call, who are holding the crew, because we all will be millionaires all at different times. We know we'll probably be billionaires all at different times. You know, it depends on your age. If you're only young, you know, in the next 10, 15 years, you will be billionaires. You know, next 5 years, the next 3 years, there's going to be people, 2 years. There's people sat here today already, probably millionaires, as low as the value is at the moment. So imagine what happens. But we don't, you know, you don't wake up, I always say this, you don't wake up one morning and think, I want to be a millionaire today. But you do wake up and think, oh, I wish I had some more income coming in. Because you know what? If you're going to take $1 million, if you're going to get rid of the golden goose that lays the eggs for you, the taxman's going to love you, because the taxman will crucify you. But if you're taking it as a passive income, if you're taking it as an income, you know, and you're going to have to probably start to think about, well, hang on a minute, what can I put this in? How can I legally, you know, do this where I'm not going to be paying whatever percentage away to the taxman? You know what I mean? So, you know, it's the income everybody wakes up, everybody wants. We all want that income. Somebody's already asked, when will we get the dividend? Because he knows that's his income. He's not even thought that he could possibly be a millionaire or a billionaire. He's just thinking about the income all the time. So that's all I've got to say on
that. do you know, right? Yeah, and talking about the income, here's the income, right? So there is income from this company, okay? You got a profit bonus, right? You got a loyalty bonus. You got staking rewards. Like our crypto unit, there's a reason to keep hold of them, because if you keep hold of them, you can stake them, okay? And when you stake them, you get rewarded in UNTB, which is another crypto token. And again, all of this is, we are authorized to do this by the SEC. So, you know, we're already cleared by the SEC. There's not many other companies in this space that can say that, right? We got this down. And then if you want money today, if you want, right, you know, these things will get amazing within a few years' time, right? But, and the profit bonus especially, like, you know, that's going to start kicking off. Like it'll start getting really interesting within, I don't know, I reckon easily by the end of next year, right? But here's the thing, if you are looking for money in the short term, that's fine. It's really easy. Do some networking, because this stuff, the network marketing bonuses, this stuff actually is, you know, some of the stories in our company, when I remember, type an A in the chat if you know Alina. You know Alina, right? Okay, Alina Pepina. Okay, so Alina is like, she is, yeah, she was sharing with me back in 2017 when I first met her. She signed me up, right? When I first met her, she was not in a very good way. Okay. Now, I came into this company because I did all of my due diligence, and I really liked the innovative transport company. I did all my due diligence on that, and I was like, okay, I do want to own shares in this company. I will, you know, buy a decent package, right? But, you know, and then I got to know Eleanor, and I got to know her situation, and trust me, it was not good. She was not in a good place back then. But then at the beginning of last year, beginning of this year even, at our first event, when we actually did a live London event, it seems like it was like ages ago, but it was this year, wasn't it, Gail? That wasn't in 2019. That was this year. It was only like about what? Just over 6 months ago. Really? Wow. Seems like forever ago, doesn't it? Time is getting faster, guys. Interesting, you know, there's a meaning in that, by the way. But yeah, well, when we were at that, she was sharing with me how, like, you know, she's actually affluent. She's actually affluent. It's amazing. It's like, you know, she's like, yeah, you know, I really just needed some speakers. And I was like, great, I've got money to buy speakers, you know, because of this company, because of all of her hard work. So you can actually do this stuff, right? You can actually create a monthly income for yourself out of the networking. And let's face it, what Gail just said about sharing it with others, you're not just changing one person's life, you're potentially creating generational wealth for their entire family. Okay. And you know, this is so powerful. It's so powerful. So yeah, you know, and exactly as Gail says, this basically all of the jobs are going. If you understand like what's happening in the world right now with the billionaires that are in charge and where they're trying to take us, right? It's just, you know, they don't want us to have they don't want us to have anything, right? And then on the tax things, you know, there's ways of handling that. I think one of the reasons why we're set up in the USA, why UG Group is set up in the USA legally, is because when it pays dividends, it's taxed at source in the USA. But then I think because we have, if you're in the UK, I think you don't have to pay tax on the dividends, because I think that's what I heard him say. But but you know what? Don't take me on that. But anyway, the point is there is knowledge and expertise that Andre has and that we have in our company. Okay, Gail, Jean Bertrand asks a question, but you can answer it.
Let's have a look, please. More, what procedure should I take? And I need my dividend to be paid anytime later. In other words, I don't know whether you're trying to say if you didn't want your dividend at that moment in time. I suppose you don't have to take it out. You could leave it in your wallet. You could always leave it in your wallet, because you will have every single person's going to have their own wallets, and it could be stored in hang on, let me get it right. USDU, which is our unit of the like a stable coin. So it's like having a dollar. So it's not going to go up and down with fluctuation. So for example, the USDU. So basically any bonuses that we get in future will be paid in USDU. So at the moment, they're in your back office as a unit and they're equal to $1. Okay, well, this USDU is actually is actually the same. It's equivalent to $1. So instead of keeping your crew, which in time will go up or could go perhaps down in value, if you decide, well, that's it, I want my money going in there, then it'll be paid into the USDU, into your wallet. So you could do that.
Okay.
Michael saying we have several sources of income. We certainly do. I think we've covered that in the presentation. We said, you know, we've got several sources of income for everyone. We know that. I just don't think that you know, people have realized yet that there are those. I mean, for one, if you haven't attached to the data mine in the digital doubles, you know, have a serious look at it. You don't have to do anything, and you're going to earn money. You know, you don't have to do anything at all. If you don't want to speak to the people, don't speak to them, because if you're not going to, but the digital doubles eventually will. The data, the whole idea is to build up a data bank of people. We've 2 million people already in, what is it, 4 months? Is it 4 months, 3-4 months? We've 2 million people in a data bank. So again, that will provide you an income. It links, if those have come from your people. I mean, I've just set up with the Russian social media accounts.
UK,
You know,
me
and somebody
too.
says
Yeah.
to me, why have you done that? What you can't speak Russian. I said, I don't need to speak Russian. I'm just linking, and when it's available, I'm just going to link my data mining to those social media accounts, and it's going to just be another source of income for me, isn't it? So, you know, have a look at it, and it's a one-off payment. And at the moment, it's really cheap to that one-off payment. The business package is $250 one-off for the data mining. Okay. Now, there is a smaller package, but you don't get the ability to collect as many people, because that's what we do. We collect, and the more people we've got to collect, the more potential income earning from that, you know. So have a think about the data mining, jump on the calls. We've loads of calls. Go into the NEEW official YouTube channel. There's lots of English videos, Italian, there's lots of different languages in there, you know, people can actually have a look at. So I think, how can I get the last few slides you showed, Gail? I'm sure. Now, as far as slides go, everybody, right, we're in a transitioning period over the next few weeks. Hopefully by the end of October, you're going to have the marketing materials that you've all been waiting for. We'll certainly have a presentation, but bear with us because it needs to be built up. You know, somebody's got to actually do these, and they've all got to be checked to make sure everything's compliant. So you will have brand spanking new slides, and you will have them in your back office so that you too can learn this and present this to people, you know, so you can do this for yourself, because, you know, we're just two people, we're just two members like everybody else, you know. All right, we're challenged, we're trying to build the UK, you know, but you know what, anybody in here, whether you're from another country or not, the UK is virtually untouched. And we're all missing a trick here, because I know at the moment me and Mo are running around. Is anybody from the UK? You know, we're a global business, so it doesn't really matter where people are from, but we're challenged with, we need to build the UK up. And why do we need to build the UK up? We need to build it up because UGAIN is not even being released in the UK, because we're not one of the top 10 countries. You know, the UK is one of the biggest MLM, what's the word? It has the biggest amount of people in the world in the UK alone, and we're a small island who are involved with MLM, you know, per percentage wise to the population. So you know what, we've got a fantastic opportunity to reach out to people who are already in MLM companies, because do you know what, they may love this, because if they're making the money, they need to know what to do with it in the future. And they might want to be co-owners in something. So the UK is untouched. So start reaching out to people in the UK, because, you know, and unfortunately, you know, for us, if you do it and we don't before you, then you're the ones who are going to benefit the most. So that's why we're saying to people, look, just try and reach out to people and share with people what we've got now. You can't deny that paper. You can't deny that regulation now. Okay, Right, Michael, let's have a look. Oh yeah, Michael's been answered. Staking has got a lot of questions. Right, okay, Michael, what will happen over the next few weeks? We will dedicate some time just purely for answering questions on certain topics. So we'll look at, you just highlighted something there for staking. We will be doing presentations. We will be doing things in addition to this type of presentation, okay, that will help people to transition over to World Crew. Okay, we can't give advice. We can't tell you what to do. All we can do is give you the information so that you can decide, you know, what you want to do with your crew, because everybody will have a different what they want to do with them. Okay, so have a plan. Everybody start getting the piece of paper out and writing down your plan. What do you plan to do? Write down how many you've got. How many do you want to stake? How many do you want to put to one side for the next couple of years, you know, and get an income from that? You know, how many do you want to sell? Everybody's plan will be different, so you need to be prepared, and we'll help you do that. So we will help you, you know, by giving you information on that as soon as we possibly can, just so that everybody knows. If anybody has staked in the back office already, okay, leave it for now. Don't do anything. Don't stop the staking anymore. Just leave it for now. Because once we go onto the blockchain and onto the exchange, when it all comes live, there'll be a button that you press to transfer everything over to the blockchain. And if you've already staked, you'll be able to do that in your back office again. They've had to change it slightly the way it's done. And if you've been doing it for the last 3-4 weeks or a month, they will pay you the additional crew proportionately at the percentage that you chose. So don't, you know, everybody just take the time at the moment. You know, it looks like the exchange is going to go live, the global exchange, before the internal one. The system we've got now was never meant to have an exchange on it. Our back office was never meant to have an exchange. Okay, it's totally separate. So just bear with us for a couple of weeks, and, you know, 2-3 weeks, and hopefully that exchange will be ready. But again, it's got to be tested. It's got to all be right for everyone.
Okay. Thanks, Gail. So Michelle, if you want to type a question, yeah, Michelle, if you want to type a question, just type a question. We'll see if we've got time. I know that I've got to go at about 9, right? But
yeah. Well, I'm going to have to shoot off in a bit because I've got another call I should be on. So okay. Yeah, just answering. I don't know whether you want to stay on, Mo. Do you want to stay on and answer questions?
Do you know? I think. Do you know what? Maybe let's close. But I just want to leave with just one note then, right? Because and Michelle, do you know what? Keep coming back. Watch out for our other presentations where we'll answer questions. Okay. So you know, and guys, keep coming back. We're happy to take questions. But the note that I want to leave you guys on, like with things like digital doubles and NEEW game, okay, there are companies, the billionaires who run the world, they've invested in all the companies that are basically, I don't know, they're leading us to our demise. That's the way that I see it, and including social media, right? But also, like, I mean, look at what's happening to shops and just like mom and pop like shops on the high street. Okay, like everyone's having to close down right now. Okay, while you know, your Amazons and your and whatever those big websites, those marketplaces get to proliferate. Okay, and they get to expand. Well, what we're doing with our company, guess what digital doubles is going to absolutely disrupt? Okay, we're going to disrupt social media marketing. Okay, so, you know, we're taking a freaking slice of the pie. Okay, we're going to be marketing in such a way that has never been known. It's so unique, it's so new. And also, I'm pretty certain that they're not necessarily gathering data. It's more that they're connecting to our network so that they can look through our networks to reach people. And that, by the way, is why we're actually GDPR compliant, is the way that I see it. Also, the Ugain company, wow, well, look, that thing can replace ordering systems. It can replace loyalty systems. It can even send push notifications to people's phones to remind them to buy, right? It can do all sorts of stuff. And also on top of that, everyone makes money from everyone that is a user of that system, whether they are an end user customer or, you know, business to business or whatever. Everyone makes commissions, everyone makes money. You gain with no pain, right? So we're literally creating this whole new economic evolution of the world where we actually are going to own the things that we use. You know, like the edu cafes that Gail mentioned earlier. The idea of that is that you know, we'll be able to have meetings in those spaces. We'll be able to have meetings in those spaces. And can you imagine, you show up, you have your meetings with your clients that you bring in, and then you say to them, like, you know, hey, so, you know, would you like a coffee? And then it's like, you know, you get a coffee, and then it's like, yeah. And, you know, the awesome thing is I get paid back for the fact that we've just bought coffee, right? Because I own a stake in this thing. Okay. It's really awesome, right? So guys, you know, the companies that we've got, you know, if you don't have digital doubles, you should have digital doubles. Okay. I have to admit, I'm still kind of figuring out Ugain as we go along because it's so massive, right, to get one's head around. But I do know that this is our answer to Amazon and eBay and AliExpress and whatever, right? Okay, guys, so in fact, actually, who has got digital doubles? Who hasn't got digital doubles, actually? Yeah, put a DD in the chat if you've got digital doubles. Put no in the chat if you don't. And wow, there's still 51 of you. That's amazing. So right, if it's money, I can understand that if you don't have the money for it, but like, what reasons do you have for not having digital doubles if you don't have it? I'd love to know for what reason, but don't say I don't have the money, because obviously that's a valid reason. So anyone that doesn't have digital doubles, how come you don't have it yet? Don't know enough about it yet. Okay, there are sessions about that, and if you like, I did a digital double session a while ago. It's on YouTube, so we can talk about that, Stephen. Basically, yeah, I'll send, in fact, I'll just very quickly find out where the thing is, and then I'll post the link in here and you can watch that. YouTube, and then, yeah, so Ratna, how come you don't have it? Angela, how come you don't have it? Hams, how come you don't have it? Shane, how come you don't have it? Stephen, how come you don't have it? Because if we don't know why you don't have it, then we can't help you. But the thing is, you know, you're missing out on some incredible passive income streams, and so it's a bit nuts that you don't have it, you know. Right, my channel, come on, mate. Right, where do we go? 3 new messages. Can you read what people are? I don't think I have it, says Chris. Okay, in a bad spot at the moment. I get that you're in a bad spot at the moment, Shane. We talk, so I know your situation. But anyone else? Right, okay, so share, get the link. Okay, copy. Okay,
I'm just going to pop in the chat, everyone. I'm just going to pop the link to the the YouTube, the official YouTube channel. Just play around in there, because if it's got EN in front, it's an English video. They'll be all different languages, but there's Vietnamese, Hindi, there's all sorts of different languages, Italian. But you'll find, if you look, you'll find, and there is some training on the data mining. And also, if I can just pull it out, I think I did a video as well, so I'll just, Mo might have done one. Have you done a video, Mo?
Yeah, so I've just posted mine in there as well.
Yeah, and I'll post mine. So
Yeah.
watch them all, because we'll all be saying the same thing, but in a different way, so that you may relate better to somebody else telling you. Like, you might relate better to Mo than me, with my very northern accent. And I'm proud of my northern accent. Everybody embrace their accents.
I actually lost mine. I used to have a Blackburn accent, right? Because that's where I'm from originally.
Yeah.
But I've been in London. Well, I've been down south for long enough, and I'm a Sagittarian, so I'm mutable anyway. So I'm from Lancashire, Stephen. I think Gail, you're from Wigan, right? Wigan, is it?
I'm from Manchester originally, Salford, where all the BBC comes from now, and Coronation Street. If anybody watches the telly, Coronation Street, But I'm originally from Salford, but I've lived in a place called Lee, just near Wigan, for since I was probably, God, I've been there here 40 odd years. So I'll probably say I'm from Wigan, really.
Right, Chris. Right, so Chris asks, is digital doubles the same as data mining? Let me just very quickly, in that case, I'll just very quickly share. I think it was that screen, actually. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it is. That is this. So look, let me show you this, right? This is how digital doubles works, because it's both. Data mining and digital doubles are basically part of the same strategy. Okay, so data mining is the action of us connecting our social media accounts. So all of us have social media accounts, right? And we probably have more than one. And we just started with LinkedIn. Okay, and this is just the action of connecting your accounts to the digital double software in order to join the data mining thing. Okay, and then all it does is it just sends out hello requests. Would you like to connect? Basically friend requests on your behalf. Okay, so that's all it does. It just links to your LinkedIn account, and it sends out friend requests. And then some people come back to you and say, yeah, great, let's be friends. Other people don't. But the point is, after that, you then have a real conversation with them. So you just have a real conversation with them, and you can invite them to a meeting and make sales. And I've actually made a sale. Okay, I don't have DM, but plans are underway to obtain the best option. Do you know what? Just get the best option, which is the big one, right? It's only like, I think it's 250 units, isn't it, Gail? Yeah. But the thing is, you get the fastest version. There's two speeds to the software, right? There's the slow speed and the fast speed, right? And only the top version has the fast speed. So you might as well just get that. And also, and then that, therefore, that you recruit more people, you make more. No, it's a one-off. It's a one-off payment of 250 UNT, and even when they launch other social networks, you don't pay any extra. You only pay 250 UNT one time only, ever, and never pay anything ever again, and you've got it for the rest of your life, right? And for as long as the company goes for. And the company has got some ridiculous ambition, right? Once we reach a 10 million mega brain, and we've already got 2 million people in the mega brain. The mega brain, by the way, is the network of all of our networks all together. Okay, so once we've got reach of 10 million people, we've got reach of 2 million already, right, in just a couple of months. Then they will switch on the actual digital double, which is the bot, which will have the learn to have the conversations for you. Okay. So I believe they're creating an Andrei Korotkov bot, which is basically gonna have the conversation for you. Do you need to have friends on the account? Okay, I believe with LinkedIn, it's good to have like about say 150 people in your network. But do you know what? That's easy, because you just you just go in, and then you just add friends, find your own friends, find their friends, and add them yourself manually, right? And then once you get to about 100, and it doesn't matter, you can start with 50, but it's best results if you start with about 100, right? And then also, actually, to be fair, with LinkedIn, you do want to get the sales navigator if you want to really go hard with it, right? And that is a monthly subscription, but that's a LinkedIn subscription. That's not digital doubles. It's not to do with our company. That's just to do with LinkedIn. But look, and let me just do that again. If you want to watch my webinar about digital doubles, that's my link on YouTube. Gail, do you want to put your link in there as well, if people want to like your flavor as well, right? I know that you've already put it in there at the top, but it's got lost, you know. Yeah, so you know, but I mean, I tell you what, my results in the past, I think it's been about 2 months now, like just over 2 months, right? I started with a network of 217 people, and now I've got, I think it's about 1,800 people now or something, right? So it's really amazing. Let's just have a look, actually. My digital doubles. My .pigit, yeah, there you go. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, okay, so look, so if I click refresh, I haven't, you know, and watch this number go up. 1,589, I refreshed it last 7 days ago, and now it is taking a while. Oh, it's kind of crashed a little bit, but do you know what? It doesn't do that usually, right? But I think, I don't know, maybe there's pressure on the thing. I'm not really that bothered about it. It might be because I think I might have it open already in another window. So I'll just see if I can just find that and close it down. Oh no, I don't. Maybe I need to log in again. That might be it. Where do I go to the login screen? Oh, sign out. Yep, sign out, and then sign back in. Okay. Oh, right, yeah, go sign in actually is what I want to do. Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, when we have 10 million people, yeah, exactly. It's going to be amazing. It's not going to like spam people. It's going to just have conversation with them and just introduce them to stuff that they might not already know about, right? Runtime error. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe my LinkedIn is like decided that it might just say, this is not the best advert right now, but honestly, it's really cool.
I think what it is, Mo, I think they are doing some integration.
Okay.
So you may find, I am going to send it on to them, but I think you'll find that it's because they're doing the integration, because it's going to step it up a level.
Right. Yeah, of course, because they're introducing new networks, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah,
so
they
might just be doing work on it at the moment.
Yeah.
But the point is, I started with 217 contacts, and you've already seen that I've got, you know, at least 1,500 now. Okay. And it's constantly sending out messages. And if I click on that, maybe that'll tell me where maybe if I go to my sales navigator, it tells me how many people I've got Look, look at how many people have viewed my profile in the last week, right? 1012, right? It's nuts. So, you know, we've got a system that can like hack, you know, and it's doing it in a manner that is friendly. Okay. All it's doing is it's adding friends, right? It's not spamming people. It's just, you know, so it's a really cool thing. There's nothing else like it. Okay. Anyway, okay, guys, so
Yeah.
it's 8:45.
Yeah, this is our very short webinar has turned into a marathon.
It always will, it always will, but at least it wasn't a marathon presentation.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a marathon, but we've answered hopefully plenty of questions there. Yeah, so grab the links, and for those who haven't already learnt about Dataman, or those who have and still not quite sure what it's all about, for those who've purchased and not actually activated, you know, again, just watch it again, and reach out to somebody to get it activated or to help you activate it, because it literally doesn't take very long. As long as you've got your LinkedIn login details, you've got the email that's sent you originally with the code in, it's really easy to attach it to anything. So I think it's time we said good night to everyone. Thank
Raju,
you all so
thank you,
much.
thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Raju said we need a marathon webinar every day.
Thank you so much. That's such a compliment. And
It
by
is.
the way, get Marathon 260, because that pretty much is that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know, maybe consider getting Marathon 260. But yeah, that's a lovely compliment. Guys, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank
Sorry,
you all. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.